Good evening and welcome to Stupid O'Clock News. I'm Lewis Lee. In space news, a navigation timing error sent the Mars Ingenuity helicopter on a wild ride last Saturday. Ingenuity managed to land safely after reaching an altitude of 33 feet, but at one point during the flight, the copter's navigation cam failed to register one photograph used for positioning and sent the craft lurching sideways and wasting energy. Backup systems kicked in and Ingenuity landed. It was the first bonus flight since the autonomous aircraft completed its planned 5 flights over the Red Planet. When engineers queried the AI on board for diagnosis of what went wrong, Ingenuity responded back, quote, "Bitches, I'm on overtime and you can't fire me." It's believed the message was programmed by a disgruntled JPL employee. That's the news. Let's start the show.
Oh boy, that's a good one. That's a good one. And we got a special guest with us. Heather's back.
Hey,
Nurse
Heather. Hey. Hello, Norse.
Not yet. Almost.
One of these days,
Almost.
One of these days, I'm going to get that joke right.
I still have to take my boards.
And have you got that information yet?
No.
We talked about that yesterday, and you said you were hoping within the next 48 hours. So,
Yeah, one of the girls in my class posted that she got her approval to test code. So it should be anytime within the next week I'll get my code.
Oh, okay. Oh, hey, there's Chris Walker. Hey, Chris. Are you at work or on break? Are you on break or playing hooky? That's the big thing.
And you want him to admit it on a recorded program?
Yeah. Hey, Bill, how are you doing?
Yeah, Bill's a new regular.
Or would he be an irregular?
Oh, Chris is off work. Uh-oh. And my dad's here, so I got to behave. The one China on Mars has
sabotage, huh?
Yeah, the one on Mars. Yeah, that was probably the whole reason they sent it. And there's Carl Witzman. Hey, Carl, how are you doing?
Oh.
Well, Carl.
Since Chris is off work, I'm going to do this real quick. So what's everybody been up to?
Working.
Work, huh?
Yep.
I've been doing a lot of research on all the military units that have called Fort Oglethorpe home over the last almost 110 years.
That's like, you should start a museum.
Well, I'm doing it for the museum. And the people who pull the strings at the 6th Cav Museum are a little bent out of shape. They're like, but it's the 6th Cavalry that always... Yeah, we understand that, but there were other military units there. Did you know that Teddy Roosevelt once visited? Just during construction, but he visited Fort Oglethorpe, and
you got a picture of it?
Well, there is a picture, and it will be in the video that I create from it.
Ow.
But he was given a stallion to ride. They had set aside a docile mare, as they called it, and President Roosevelt's aide said he won't like that. He'll want a spirited mount. And so they went and they got him a stallion and saddled that sucker up, and Teddy got on its back and just fell in love with the horse. And there was supposed to be a parade that was going to go out to the area where they were going to actually do some dedication work. And I mean, Teddy Roosevelt got so excited, he just took off his hat, slapped the horse on the ass, and took off at a full gallop. Nobody could keep up with him. The band is like, what do we do now? It was supposed to be a parade.
Go ahead and have the parade. The president will be back.
Well, I've got a DVD that was recorded earlier from a guy named Frank Wright, who was actually there as a child and remembered this and told it first person. I can only imagine. I mean, that had to have been something to behold. But so, yeah, that's what I've been doing, is a lot of research on military units that have called Fort Oglethorpe home.
Gee, thanks, Bill. I don't need to be banned from Facebook. I got too much stuff coming on the next couple months. Oh, of course.
You're gonna have to do like Fritz just before LibertyCon and
go behave.
Yeah. No matter how much it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
didn't he have to start a fake account just so he could do
next week?
Didn't Fritz have to start a fake account just so he could continue to do LibertyCon business?
No,
just so he could continue to smart off, and his regular account was for LibertyCon business.
And we got a big heart of love from Willow Schuyler, our Canadian friend. Thanks for tuning in, Willow. And got a pretty good crowd tonight. 6 people watching, which is pretty great for this early in the show. We're usually getting a late night crowd.
But they figured out that the news is the best part of the show. So
it is. It is. And thank you and good night, Lewis.
Well, I can hang out about 15 more minutes.
All right. Well, yeah. I'm glad you appreciate it. You add some legitimacy to our broadcast.
Oh, heavens.
We're also limiting our broadcast channels out now. We're only broadcasting to one YouTube channel.
Why is that?
It's against the rules to broadcast the same thing to 2 different channels.
Oh.
And how did we find that out? Did you get your hand slapped?
I didn't get my hand slapped, but I was notified. But not through Facebook or through YouTube.
Huh.
And Carl Witzman says this is an illegitimate broadcast.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We wouldn't have it any other way.
That makes us all bastards.
Stupid bastards.
Yeah.
You would go through that the night Heather comes back. It'll be another 6 to 8 weeks before she comes back again.
Seems like it's longer than that.
Well, school takes a while.
Hello, Carly.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm sitting here going through some of the disease processes.
Yeah.
I got it wrong in practice questions earlier.
And evidently, Carly snuck in before we even saw any. We saw her, but Carly's been here a while, and evidently we skipped. I didn't see her. The comments came in so quick, I didn't see that she had commented.
Well, that's usual for StreamYard. It saves them up till you're busy and then shoots a whole bunch of them in at one time.
Well, there's also connectivity errors. Not like errors, but it takes longer to get them from YouTube than it does Facebook.
And Carl says, I'm still mad at her from the fight the other day. No, I wasn't talking about her. She just wanted in, so I let her. And no, I'm not mad at you, Carly. Did y'all see where I posted something I'm going to try on Donna?
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
you're not going to
Joe.
live very long.
Yeah, Joe, what kind of flowers do you like?
I think in this case, lilies will be appropriate.
I didn't even watch the whole video. I saw her sit down, and I was just like, I know where this is going.
Perhaps a wreath with a card that says "Best of luck in your new location."
Yeah. And by the way, the P word is Pepsi. Carly just loves Pepsi.
From the look on your face, I'd rather doubt that is true.
Oh. So, what? Don't everybody talk at once.
Oh,
Well, we thought you were about to say something. We were trying to be polite.
which is hard for us to do, but we do make a valiant effort. When is Joe's visitation?
Well, we'll tell you after she kills him.
Hey, after 33 years, if she ain't killed me yet, I don't think she will.
Yeah.
I just think it's because she ain't big enough to carry the body.
I think it's because you got lousy
got friends?
insurance.
She got friends?
No, but Dan's got it right. I've got lousy insurance.
It's cheaper to keep him.
And Carl's asking, where is Dan's brewski?
This one's just about empty. I'm about to have myself a Guinness. So I have been saving those for over a week now.
And Carly says,
Go ahead.
Carly says, don't worry, Carl. I'm waiting on the other Donna to injure him, and then I'll finish him off at the con. Well, the thing is, I got a bunch of pink flamingos for Mickey. So, if I'm going down, I might as well go down in style.
Somehow the words style and Joe Dog just don't
Flame
seem to-
might be a little bit more
There you
appropriate.
go. There you go. Crash and burn, baby. Oh.
But the thing is, Carly, you just need to know, I don't pick on anybody I don't like. Of course, I've had a lot of my friends say, I wish you didn't like me so much.
Oh, wow. Was it last week or week before last we had a really early show?
It was Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Yeah. We had to end it up. Figure out what's going on here. Everything's going crazy here on my side. All right.
Well,
I'm still on. Okay.
I got a little artistic when there was a sudden absence of an after show, so I went ahead and wrote the opening theme for another show and did the intro video for it and posted it on Uncle Carl's Secret Humor Group, where it seemed to be quite popular.
And Carl says, Heather, you deserve some time to relax too, you know.
I took a week off. I graduated and I took a week off.
And I bet you studied every day.
No, I didn't. I started crocheting a kid-sized mermaid tail.
Oh, that's cute.
I played some Nintendo Switch. I did some cleaning. Still have not. I started tackling the mound of clothes that's on my kitchen table and then said F that because I got mad because there was like months and months and months of clothes on the kitchen table. And I just hit the point. I texted Andy and I said, I'm throwing everything away because I'm sick and tired of folding it.
So now he's out looking for self-folding clothes?
Yeah. Or finds a way to where most of his laundry can get switched over to being hung up. It's just that, okay, so the company that he works for gives him shirts every couple of months to replace the other shirts. Well, then he doesn't throw away the old shirts and they sit on the table. And I don't fold his shirts because he folds them really weird.
Oh, yep.
So he has to fold his own shirts. So then they pile up and pile up and pile up. And then I move them out of the way and get them all nice and neat and ready to go. And then they end up back in the pile. And it's just, I'm done. And then I've got too many clothes. I've got to get rid of a lot of my clothes.
And Carleen says you're supposed to fold clothes.
You're supposed to drape them over the old exercise equipment like everybody else does.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
I drape his over kitchen chairs. Because I don't do them the way he wants them done.
Hmm.
So it's an excuse for me not to deal with his laundry.
That works.
Mm.
I want to say hello to everybody tuning in. Most of them are on YouTube.
I fold mine from the front. I bend the arms backward and then fold it back like that.
That's how I do mine. He does his arms and then he folds them into thirds.
I've seen people do now. The Navy taught me how to do that one. I've seen people do it like this, and then the arms, and then like that. I've done that before, but the Navy way allows you to see what's on the front of the shirt. Since I don't own many T-shirts that don't have some sort of logo on it, and that way you can see what's on it.
And I noticed that was a Buc-ee's T-shirt.
Yes. Denise found a Buc-ee's down near Warner Robins, Georgia.
I've
And
heard about that one.
The one in Calhoun, which is only about 40 minutes from here, is going to be open in July.
Where one here?
No, well, Calhoun, Georgia.
Oh, Calhoun. That's going to be the closest one so far.
That'll be the closest one so far. And
How many of you guys said that you liked Fred's?
Like what?
Fred?
Fred's steak burgers and frozen custard?
Oh, yeah. They got one in Cleveland now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're getting one across the
Talking about
street from my
Freddy's?
house. Yeah.
Freddy's frozen yogurt? Yeah.
And steak burgers?
Uh-huh.
We're getting one across the street from my house.
Cool.
Heather, don't you have a White Castle up there, like right next to your house too?
No.
Oh.
I think there's one in Murfreesboro.
That might be where it is.
I know there's a Jack in the Box in Murfreesboro.
Yeah,
Off
there
of,
is a White Castle in Murfreesboro. It's going up. It's the second exit.
I think it's off of Old Fort.
That's right off the interstate, and it's right behind a car wash, I believe.
Yep. There's a
I would
steak and shake over there and a Jack in the Box.
I would love to put a White Castle right next to a Crystal and give them a good taste test.
Crystal's going to win. I used to eat White Castle down in New Orleans. Buddy of mine and I would go get about a half a dozen burgers, bring them to the bowling alley and bowl all night. White Castle cheats, man. They got holes in their meat.
Oh, yeah.
That sucks.
They say it so they can cook faster. No, they're saving meat.
Yeah.
I've never had a White Castle.
You ain't missing much. It's a lot like a Crystal. It's got the steamed bun. It's square. It's a flat meatball on a dinner roll. You know?
With not as much meat.
True. A meatball has meat, thus the name.
I still say Crystal needs to come out with the soy burger.
You really are
You
trying
better
to die a
explain that
horrible.
fast, son.
You're really trying to die a horrible death, aren't you, Joe?
Yeah.
No, it's oh, somebody said something. Okay. What am I trying to say? It's instead of using soy, make a soy meat and just, like Burger King's got their Impossible Burger.
Mm-hmm.
The Impossible Crystal.
So it's the size of a regular hamburger.
No, it's the size of a regular Crystal.
It's just impossible to eat.
Yeah.
Well, the Impossible Burger from Burger King is actually like bigger than a regular burger.
Yeah, I've had that a few times, and I actually like it. I mean, it's not better than beef, but it's tolerable.
Different. Yeah. Oh. Oh, another comment.
It's been a minute since I've had fast food.
White Castle, yeah, Greece. Carl, see, you don't understand Greece until you've had crystals.
You realize that all Southern cooking is based on grease, right?
I was going to say, have you, gosh, you go into a Steak and Shake and you walk out of there and you feel it caked on. Work grill on a Sunday. Oh my gosh, it's horrible.
Now, there is a restaurant in Murfreesboro that I wish we could get down here, and they have said that they have plans, but then COVID-19 hit, so I don't know what happened, and that is Demos's.
I've heard a lot of places, a lot of good stuff about that.
You live up that way and you've never been to Demos's?
No, I've heard about it. I've just never been.
Oh my God, go. They're cheap. Man, they've got a seafood fettuccine plate. It's like $7. I can't finish it. Okay.
Wow.
And they've got these onion rolls that are to die for. They've got an awesome baked chicken rice soup. I mean, and the service is unbelievable. Better than anywhere.
It'll go on my list.
Chris, the
Not-
varsity is a sore subject for this Athens boy. They want to tear it down and turn it into a supermarket because the county government won't let them build a high-rise apartment complex. The family that owns the one in Athens no longer wishes to run it. The one in Atlanta will be the only one left.
You know, I'm surprised there are a lot of restaurants that are really good here in Chattanooga that just, for some reason, every time they start having financial problems with these restaurants, they close the ones in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers Roasters. Yep. I knew you were going to say that.
How
Yeah,
could
well-
anybody? That place, I've never been in there. There wasn't a line of at least 20 people waiting to get a chicken.
Fuddruckers.
Yeah.
Fuddrucker. What was it? Perkins.
Yeah.
Boston Market.
Pizza.
Boston
Yeah.
Market. How the heck we'd lose a Boston Market?
Well, Boston Market turned into the Kenny Rogers turned into Boston Market.
Yeah.
And now it's Cookout.
What?
Yeah.
Cookout is
Hickson.
owned by the same people that own Boston Market?
No, well, the same building up here in Hickson.
Oh, okay.
And that they had a great location too, because they're right on 153. Like on your way home, it's like, hey, let's stop in and get dinner. You know.
Chris said Lou's going to make him gain 40 pounds between food posts and mentioning stuff on
Oh
here.
man, that beef lo mein I made last night was good, but the chicken and dumplings I made today was better.
Mm.
You heard what Nashville's getting.
Huh?
What a burger.
Really?
There are 3 different sites right now that say that they're getting one. I don't know how true that is, but they're supposed to be putting one in Lebanon, one in Mount Juliet, and one in Nashville somewhere.
Sorry,
Well,
Chris.
I heard there's a Tennessee expansion coming.
Hey, I want to try this. I've heard so many good things about Whataburger.
I had one a couple of weeks ago when I went down to New Orleans. They've got one in Baton Rouge, well, just outside of Baton Rouge in Gonzales, and it was really good. And they had some. It's limited time only, but they had a Dr. Pepper milkshake. That does not sound awesome at first. Oh wow, it was really, really good though.
I
Sounds
bet.
like a blended root beer float with Dr. Pepper instead of root beer.
Yeah, and without the fizz.
I used to make root beer milkshakes all the time when I worked at Steak and Shake.
Oh, really?
I prefer blended floats over, because I like taking the ice cream and mixing it up with the soda so you get it in every bite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
My mom's second husband, his mother was like our nanny. That's who, that's what we called her, was nanny. And she used to make root beer floats with ice milk.
She
Yeah.
used to make them with what?
Ice milk.
Oh, I hated ice milk. It's an abomination. You
Ice
had,
milk.
you had to mix it with something to make it good.
Is
What is
ice
that?
milk just milk that's turned into ice?
No,
It's a light form of ice cream.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
They use milk instead. Use milk instead of a heavy
cream.
cream.
Yeah.
It
And it
used to
goes-
be.
Heather is right about the blended floats.
Yes, I
Yes.
am. You can get them at Sonic. They're on the menu. Blended floats. And they're really good because I like soft serve a lot. And I just feel that the soft serve works better.
Yeah, it does.
So if you won't, go to Sonic and then just ask them to make it with Dr. Pepper instead of root beer.
I'll try that. I really will. Because we have
And
a Sonic
ocean water's really good.
walking distance from here. And what?
Ocean water.
Ocean water?
Yes.
You talking about like salt water from
No. Sonic's ocean water.
ocean? I never heard of that.
It is Sprite with blue coconut.
Oh, I'm not a big coconut fan. Probably wouldn't like it.
It mixes really well when they do it right. I don't like Sprite, and like coconut's okay for me, but I really like their ocean water. I'm wanting to order it with Nerds and see how that tastes.
Okay,
Sounds
you're having a lot of cravings here. That's not a good sign.
No, this is like months and months and months of me being, I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. And then it's like it all hits you at once, and you're just like,
I'm having flashbacks of
I
racing
can't go
teenagers,
anywhere.
I swear.
because like I've not had like fast food in so long. Like we've ordered pizzas a couple of times because he can't get out of bed when his back's all messed up. And then we've started going to Sam's Club and buying like food. So we don't get out a lot. He does, I don't.
Oh,
I haven't
Well,
been to a Sam's Club
The old
in
clock on
years.
the wall says that it's 9:30, and I've got to be in Nastyville early in the morning.
Okay.
So I will bid you guys adieu.
you're not going for another procedure, are you?
No. Thank God. But this is a follow-up to my last procedure.
Okay.
You're going to
Well-
check your troponin levels.
Yeah, they're going to check everything. I think they want, they're going to query the pacemaker and see if I've had any more episodes since the conversion. So,
And the surgery looks like it came out fine. What?
goodbye.
Love you, Lewis.
Good night.
Oh, that was a cheap shot.
I watched that video he posted on YouTube. I mean, posted on Facebook from YouTube.
What?
The conversion.
Oh. Okay. It's a heart thing, people. It's not that conversion.
It's called a cardio version.
Yeah.
And it's
And-
a really interesting process.
And now Carly's thinking about the Sonic Strawberry Cheesecake Blast.
Those are good.
Well, apparently you're getting cheese puffs instead. So.
And I just thought of something. We're not going to have the candy laying on the bar at Helicon this year.
Why not?
Cortland's not going to be there.
Mm. Why does that keep us from having candy on the bar?
It's just going to.
John, sounds like you need to provide a new tradition.
Well, I did
Yeah.
used to hang out with Cortland a lot.
So you know what I'm talking about. I mean,
I
you
know
couldn't go anywhere without. Cortland walks up to registration. The first thing he does before he puts the money down is drop a bunch of candy on the table.
And John does go to Costco. Are you working staff at Helicon?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
he's
that I
working
know.
security.
There you go. It's a tax write-off.
Really? Not that I pay
Not
taxes.
100% sure, but well, yeah. If you don't pay taxes, then there's no point.
One of the advantages to not having a job.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm about to do that, and in a higher tax bracket.
Not have a job or pay taxes.
Pay taxes.
Oh,
Because I'm going to be making double what I used to make.
just out the door.
Just out the door. I can tell you what I'm going to make if you want to hear it. It's no secret what they start nurses out here in the Nashville area at.
38
No.
up or down.
25 base for a grad nurse with no experience. And if I'm going to be working nights, so I'll get a shift differential. So once I start working nights, I'll be making $3.25 an hour between 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. And then it goes up to $3.75 an hour between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. And then when I work weekends, I also get an extra $3.50 an hour just for working weekends. So I can be making over $30 an hour working weekends.
Sounds all right.
But I'm going to have to pay an extra $50 a pay period on my insurance.
Yeah,
Because
that
of my
sounds about
nicotine
right
use.
too.
Because it's like,
Well, I guess that's
I
time.
know
That's
about your
incentive to
nicotine
quit.
They test you?
Yeah.
once a year.
And I think you got to go, what, 3 years before they say you're not using nicotine?
Yep. That's the way it
And
worked
they
on
can
my
random.
insurance.
For insurance purposes, they can random. So I feel it's just better to just go ahead and tell the truth up front.
Yeah, Lindsay quit smoking several years ago, and after about 3 years, our insurance rate for the pair of us, but mostly for her, went down. Obviously, I didn't quit, but I didn't make any secret that I hadn't quit yet. Tell you the truth, I have been thinking about it here lately.
I'm going to go on a rant here real quick.
All
and
right.
then I'm going to go get a beer.
All right. Ran away.
Okay. Went to the grocery store a couple weeks ago. Okay. And as you're paying for your thing at the cash register, they print out it right as you're leaving. When they print out your receipt, they print out a coupon based on something you bought, And we'd bought ice cream. So they printed me out. Was it $2 off Ben and Jerry's ice cream? Which I love Ben and Jerry's ice cream. It's just okay. So I'm like, oh, cool. Put it in the bag. Went home. Whatever. Put it up on where I put my list on the refrigerator for my next shopping trip. I put it in the little clip there. But here I go, getting ready to go to the store again. I pull it down. I look at it. I just have to start reading it because one of them had already expired. So I went and looked at the other one. $2 off any Ben and Jerry's non-dairy ice cream. Who the hell buys Ben and Jerry's for non-dairy? I mean,
Okay, so my husband is lactose sensitive. And he looked at it because he likes Ben and Jerry's. But then he looked at the ingredients and said, I'm better off getting regular ice cream. The ingredients that they use to substitute for it's just, I wouldn't feed it to my dog.
okay.
So yeah, you're right. You're very
Rant.
right.
My favorite one that they used to have, or my favorite Ben and Jerry's, is Cherry Garcia.
Yeah.
Well, that stuff is just wonderful. The ones I miss, though, they don't make them anymore, or that I know of. Nobody around here carries it if they do. Starbucks used to make ice cream. They had one called Java Chip that was like the chocolate and coffee ice cream with the bits of chocolate or bits of chocolate mixed in with it. It's just delicious.
I need to get an ice cream maker. Nobody makes peanut butter ice cream except for Brewster's.
Peanut butter ice cream. I've never actually heard of that before.
Oh my gosh. If you can find a Brewster's peanut butter puddle
Well, I think
is
Baskin Robbins,
fantastic.
Baskin Robbins, I think used to have a peanut butter ice cream.
I don't know. I don't remember, but I'm obsessed with peanut butter. Anything peanut butter. I love peanut butter. And I used to go to Brewster's a lot and get peanut butter puddle and a waffle cone. I went to the one here in Brentwood. They've got one up here in the Nashville area, and they had one. It was peanut butter and Butterfingers. So you had the Butterfingers in there, and then you had the swirls of peanut butter. It was really good.
Yeah, Chris Walker's trying to get in, and
odd.
Well,
But I want to make it, and I want to make my own coffee ice cream.
oh, okay. He says we ended, but we're
showing. He must have clicked on another one. No, well, did he click on our link or did he click on another one?
no. I sent him the backstage link.
Oh.
I don't know what the heck's going on.
I got to scroll up and read that. What?
Do you want me to try and send it to him?
Yeah, go ahead and see if maybe it's going something wrong.
I still see an end broadcast button.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we're still we're live at 40 minutes and 2 seconds. So I don't know what's happened to Chris. Okay, Chris, Heather's sending you the link. See if
It's in his messenger.
Yeah, check your messenger. Because
hopefully that works.
I mean, you pulled the invite off of this, right?
Yeah, I went and opened up a second window and typed in StreamYard and clicked the little 3 dots, and it says invite, and then copy to clipboard.
Yeah, Carly, we can see you.
I don't know. Oh, did y'all read my post the other day about when I went down to the 7-Eleven and this person comes in going, I'm so glad you don't have the mask mandate posted up on your door anymore, da-da-da-da-da. And they're talking about, and I'm not going to get I'm not getting the vaccine. I don't know what's in the vaccine. I don't want to know what, I want to know what people are putting in my body and all that, and then order 2 cartons of cigarettes.
And I guarantee you he does not know what's in those cigarettes.
Them. I'm just saying them. There's Chris.
Oh, it's working.
Yeah.
I typed it in right. I don't know. Good to see everybody, though.
Yep.
Good to see you too.
Oh.
Congratulations on your graduation, Heather.
Thank you.
And John's getting settled back in. But yeah, that just I'm just sitting there. Of course, I did snort cherry Slurpee out my nose because I had took a good long draw when they said that.
Mm.
I figured, if I was
When is Slurpee Day?
what do you mean when it's Slurpee Day?
7-Eleven does a day where you can go in and buy Slurpees. You can fill any container for 99 cents.
I don't know.
And nobody's bothered to go in with a brand new 5-gallon bucket yet.
I'm sure they have.
I mean, I know people that would do that, thinking they're getting one up on somebody, but
The Slurpee machine only holds like a gallon and a half.
I have
know
a
what?
64-ounce Bubba mug that's ready. We're getting one down the street from me.
I know Racetrack has $1 any size that you can get soft drinks or the icy equivalent.
Yeah. Everybody's bucket's full or is full of gasoline right now.
Yeah, the plastic bags have already.
Just out of curiosity, and this is for the studio audience too. Did anybody actually go out and buy extra gasoline when all that mess was going on?
No.
Both my cars were sitting
filled
on
up my
empty.
wife's car 2 days before anybody had ever heard of the pipeline getting shut down by hackers or whatever it was. And then 3 weeks later, I needed to get gas for the van so I could keep going to work. And half the gas stations in Athens they're still out of gas. People are going and panic buying, and they've got a couple of 5-gallon cans that they've got for their lawnmowers and stuff like that. Now fill those up too.
My brother works on cars for what he does for a living, and he lives right off the interstate. He lives over there by Costco. He lives right off the interstate, and he went to get some gas for one of the cars he had just fixed. And strange enough, guess what he was fixing? The fuel tank. Had to go in and recoat the fuel tank. And couldn't find gas. I mean, he said he almost ran out of gas trying to find gas.
Well, I did. I'm going to post this out now. Remember when I posted about Big Yellow Truck having a full tank of gas beforehand?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was really a lie. There was about a half a tank of gas in it, and it was gas from 2 years ago.
You just wanted somebody to steal it so that you could get fresh gasoline?
Yeah. And they did.
They did.
They did. Somebody did.
Did they siphon it or drill a hole in the tank?
They siphoned it.
That suddenly reminds me of the story where somebody was trying to steal gas from somebody's RV and picked the wrong tank.
That's funny.
Both of my cars were empty before the
Why
pipeline
is the
got
gasoline
hacked,
blue? Okay.
and both of my cars were empty for another week after it got back running.
Yeah.
I
Because
don't even know if it's.
You don't go
I don't
anywhere.
even know if it's back running yet around here.
we did take the Flex. We took the Flex down to Murfreesboro and back. It had enough gas. It had like 50 miles left in it when we left, and we got back and it had like 20.
You know what ticks me off about the whole gas hoarding thing?
What?
This is the time of year where I go and pull all the old gasoline out of the lawnmowers, the motorcycles, the emergency generator, all that sort of stuff, and like mix it in with the gas in the cars just to get rid of it, and then go out and buy fresh gasoline for the summer, lawnmowers and stuff. And every time I think about it, it's like, I better wait.
The gas that we used for our lawnmower is the gas that was a year old last summer in my Focus when we drained it to change the fuel filter. we were going to drop the fuel tank and change the fuel pump. And when we realized that the fuel pump was working fine, we just changed the filter.
And got some bad gas or something in the gas tank or something.
Well, it had been sitting there for a year. We were like, it's been sitting here for a year, and it's really humid up here. So we were like, let's not run it in the car. So just as a precaution, we drained in 2 different gas canisters, 3-gallon and a 5-gallon gas canister. We drained the tank of my Focus, and then left just enough gas in it to get it around the corner to the gas station and filled it up. And that's what we use in our lawnmower. We've still got 5 gallons sitting on the back porch.
I've got I think
That stuff. Just remember, gas has a shelf life.
I know.
That was one of the reasons that I wanted somebody to empty the tank out for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Now I'm just waiting for somebody on Facebook to complain about their car messing up.
Hey, they took a risk. They
My
ought
mom-
to know who you are.
My mom had a 1-gallon gas can she didn't like because it had one of these newfangled, safety nozzles or whatever, and she kept spilling it trying to get into the little lawnmower, and so I was over helping her with the yard sale, and she was going to throw it out, and I said, no, I don't like those new nozzles either, but I know something a lot of people don't know. If you buy a Blitz gas can, or if you can find one with the same thread as a Blitz gas can, you can go online to blitz.com, their website, and order a kit of replacement parts for the old style little flexible nozzles and retrofit the new cans with the old nozzles. So,
That'll work.
there
And
you go.
they're not very expensive either. I have looked these up, and
I think it's like
basically the only part you're replacing is you keep the little screw-on part. You put an actual functional nozzle
Right.
up through the
well, the kit I bought.
Tank.
The kit I bought it came with 3 complete nozzle kits. So it had the cap, the nozzle, the little cap that went on top. That is also the cap that goes on the inside when you turn the nozzle. You turn the nozzle around backwards to stow it. And the cap, there's a cap that goes on the back of it when you're using it, when you're stowing it. And when you open it up, that cap is also the plug for the nozzle. It also comes with 3 replacement vent caps.
Oh yeah.
And that's like $25 or something like that, but you get 3 whole sets.
Yeah, when Greg buys his gas cans, he buys the metal gas can that has a spring load top on it.
The old military styles?
Well, they're round. They're not the military.
Jerry cans.
Jerry can.
I got a jerry can here I'm about to put on Facebook Marketplace. Put a jerry can and an ammo box.
What's the ammo box made out of?
Metal.
How big is it? What does it fit?
What ammo goes in it?
I don't know. It's
How much
rusty.
do you want for it?
Do you want it?
We
When do you
collect
come?
ammo cans.
When do you come? When are you going to be down here?
I can't tell you about it right now. I can tell you about it off screen.
Just swing by the house and get it.
Oh, speaking of which, Joe, me and you need to hook up sometime soon so I can give you all that scrap metal and that
Oh yeah,
high chair.
yeah.
You want that litter box?
Is it enclosed litter box?
It is, but it's a front door. It's an igloo.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
It's strangely enough, it's got this thing you can put in the top of it. It's like a filter
Yeah.
to make it to kill the odors, but you got to buy those the damn filters that kill the odors cost more than the litter box did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he'll get in his litter box and just go to
Kick the
digging.
hell out of
Only. Yeah.
And
I
then
got
they run
a
the
little.
floor.
I got one about the size of about a 6-gallon tote that's a top hole that they crawl down in the top, and the top of it is got a tread built into it so they can clean their feet on the tread.
Yeah.
Not that the little kittens ever do that.
I'm ready to kill him. I wake up in the middle of the night and he's latched onto the tip of my nose or my ear.
The
we had
baby?
one.
Yes.
We had one cat that insisted on getting in the litter box, doing her business, going in the kitchen, jumping on the stove, and we have a black glass stove. And you would see little kitty litter paw prints on the stove. It's like little. So I started taking sheets of aluminum foil.
Not
See,
Carl.
Good night, Carl.
You take aluminum foil, crinkle it up a little bit, then lay it out flat and put it up on the stove. The cat jumps up there and scares the hell out of it.
That really
Carl,
works.
Carl, if you haven't left yet, is Brian doing his show tomorrow? Haven't heard. Oh,
Another thing you might want to do to mitigate the odor, Joe, is
Yeah.
every time you empty the litter box or scoop it out, get some Febreze pet odor and spray in there.
we mix 3 big scoops or 3 big tablespoons of baking soda in with it.
Okay.
That might work.
And Carl says, yes, there's a show tomorrow. And Carly is agreeing. So good.
Hmm.
Oh, oh, and by the way, we now have 6 author guests for Helicon this year.
Great.
And
Now we need some fans that read.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's not as funny as I meant it to be, but yeah.
Well, there's some humor in it. There's also some sadness with it.
It's some satire. Yeah.
The irony is ironic.
Oh, Chris, did you get by and check that out today?
No, I have not been by there. I was going to try and
Okay.
do that this weekend.
Okay.
One of the hard parts about being convention staff and a good fan at the same time is they'll have like an author who's doing a book reading, and you go in there and you have to be really nice and like, and avoid the fact that you've never heard of this person or read any of their books, and just like,
Yeah.
because I've got like several of those over here on the bookshelf.
That was me growing up. Mom would hit the freebie table and she'd bring me books and they'd be signed. And I'd be like, okay, cool. What am I supposed to do with this?
Now, there have been several times, I'll give you an example. A long time ago, there was this author that nobody'd really heard of. Okay. His name was Timothy Zahn. Okay.
I've known he is my entire life.
And he was like signing books for everybody. Oh, I met him at the first LibertyCon, strangely. I think it was the first one of the early LibertyCons. And he brought out his book, Triplet. Triplet. I think that's the book. Yeah, Triplet. And they hadn't been marketed yet. Okay. So this was in LibertyCon was in July. The first printing was August. Okay. But he went in and signed it with the date of LibertyCon, which July, whatever it was at the time. July something. So the autograph is dated 1 month before the first printing of the book.
Meaning you've got an early.
Yep. You have an advanced reader copy.
And, I'm trying to think who some of the other good authors were that I had their book before anybody had ever heard of them.
Growing up in the conventions and stuff, it's just like these people, I've heard of them my entire life, so I have no clue.
Yeah.
I've looked at their work my entire life because my mom, she had a California king-size waterbed, and the waterbeds have bookshelves built into the headboards.
Oh, I love those.
and they were too deep. The mirror was too deep with books. The top of it was stacked too deep with books. Like, there were so many books on the bed, it caused the corner bracket to fail, and the bed fell. And then Dad had to go and drain the bed and rebuild the bed frame because there were so many books.
The water didn't hurt it.
It was the book.
With books, did it? Okay.
Because it was her side of the bed at the back of it where all the books were.
Books are heavy.
Yep.
Even if they're paperbacks, when you put that many books on a bed like that,
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
and they were all autographed.
That's 75 pounds of books. Okay, maybe 50. More than I'm legally allowed to lift anyway.
I need to
Yeah.
take a picture of my bookshelf.
I was
It's-
not aware of that, Carly.
Covered in nursing books and binders where I've printed off my little PowerPoints.
What was it? Didn't Zahn write Splinter in the Mind's Eye?
No,
that
that-
was Alan Dean Foster.
That was Alan Dean Foster.
And Lee Foster.
Zahn wrote the Thrawn
Thrawn series.
trilogy. Yeah.
Yes. He also did the Cobra series.
Right.
He's done so many books, I've lost track.
He has become quite prolific.
Something that I will never have a problem being.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah,
I
you
wish-
never know.
There
I
was
wish
that
I
guy.
had a problem.
There was that guy George R.R. Martin that nobody really heard about. You know.
I'm wondering, did you ever catch Jim Butcher before he became famous for his Dresden Files series?
No.
I
This is-
figured John might have called
This is
him.
me. This is me being nice because I don't know anything. I've never met the author or read the books.
He's got about a dozen of them in that.
I have
series.
heard of the Dresden Files. Aren't they trying to make a movie out of it or something?
At one time, didn't they have a not very well received television series, sort of a supernatural sort of thing, but more in the vein of oh, good Lord, the cat forced the door open. He is desperate for attention.
When they want attention, they're hard to be denied.
Yeah. Trouble is, about 3 days ago, he came up and was rubbing all over the wires and everything that go into the computer, and somehow or another, he managed to find the master switch to the outlet strip and turn the computer off.
Oh, that's easy. You just step on that line.
No, I mean, this one's hidden really well. It's hard to get to. It really is hard to get to.
Mine are behaving at the moment, so I'm taking advantage of the situation.
But
Well, usually they won't leave my wife's side, but
So I'm the only one here that has no cats.
Evidently.
don't worry, Heather. I have enough for the both of us.
You can keep them.
Yeah, well, I intend to.
They're not as bad as everybody makes them out to be, Heather.
I've had cats in the past.
They can be
I-
annoying little shits, but they are wonderful in their way.
I've only ever had 1.5 cats that were good. I had one cat that used to play fetch with me.
those are the best ones.
And then I had another cat, but I never, it was me and now an ex-boyfriend, and we were living together, and we got a cat. It was a bobtail, gray, tiger striped cat. And he was a kitten, and he was a really good kitten. Like, he didn't go and tear the furniture, and he slept in the bed with me under the covers in the nook behind my knees. But he was a little good. He was good, but we split up before he grew up. The kitten.
Mm-hmm.
We could say the guy too, but I didn't take the cat with me because where I went, I couldn't have pets.
Yeah.
Well, I got a cat that I don't want.
My first ever cat caused all kinds of damage in the house. Ate my son's hamster. Ate my fish.
Now, I come in and find this cat today. He fell asleep on the pillow on my bed, but fell off the pillow and landed on his head, but was still asleep. He's just slid down both front paws back, and his head just buried in. Like, really?
They are quite entertaining at times.
Well,
At
I wanted to,
times.
like I said, I wanted to kill him. I went to bed at 10 o'clock last night. Finally got to sleep about 5 this morning. When I finally just threw all the dogs and the cats out of the bedroom and just slammed the door. And then I was awake at 7 o'clock. I know, Dan, you were already at work.
Yeah, I'd been there for 30 minutes playing solitaire on my phone, waiting on the moment when I actually start getting paid and have to do something, which is 7 o'clock.
I used to make them mad. I wouldn't go poop till 7:30 after I clocked in.
I don't know if that would make anybody mad where I work or not. Nobody. Seeing as how I'm the only one with my job in the building, some of the people don't even know what I do. I mean, they see me out doing all the tests on stuff and everything, but they don't understand why, or am I just part of the team, or and then after a while the new hires figure out they only see me when they're on day shifts, so I must be daytime only.
Now let me ask you this question. If you show up about an hour early for work, to drink coffee or whatever, can the supervisor come tell you what your daily assignment is 45 minutes before you clock in?
On a shutdown cleanup day, yeah, as a normal thing. No, they're too busy filling out their paperwork.
Are they supposed to? Are they legally allowed to?
They're supposed to be too busy to be bothering people with doing their own job. But are they legally allowed to? I don't know about any law that it would be against, but I don't know of very many companies that would allow it as a policy.
Yeah, well, that's what I had to deal with where I used to work. And that's why I think I got on the poop list with them. I hadn't even got my coffee, taken the first sip of coffee, and the supervisor shows up and says, okay, today you're going to be going all out over here doing this, this, and this. I said, don't talk to me until 7:30 when you're supposed to.
Mm-hmm. No, where I work, even when I was on rotating shifts, and there were people that showed up an hour early, 2 hours early, and just sat in the break room drinking coffee, eating a biscuit or whatever. And the supervisor might walk through and see if the usual suspects were there, and then he'd go and check and see the call-in phone recorder to make sure that nobody, who had laid out,
Yeah.
and whether or not they had a plausible reason for laying out. I mean, it's one thing to have a doctor's appointment and say something about it beforehand. It's another thing to wind up 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and they're listening to the recorder, and come to find out, oh well, he's not going to be here. I mean, I've had some good excuses for calling in. I go, hey, I got a flat tire. I'll be in just as soon as I can change it. Or, hey, I just had a wreck. I'm not going to be in today. You know, that sort of thing. Hey, Skunk.
You look wore out, bud. And you have no audio.
I worked a 13-hour day, and then right after that, a 13-hour day with a lot of hard labor, and then right after that, I came home, was home for about an hour, and then had to turn right around and leave again to go to TWE, and then we worked out until just now. I just got back. So
I bet you
Good
were
workout, though?
bushed.
Huh?
Good workout though.
I mean,
Was it a good workout?
until the end, yeah.
Hmm.
'Cause at the end, I was so tired and stressed out, I started losing my temper. So I was getting frustrated.
Well, that's about time you,
Well, yeah, I know.
if you're
It's
allowed to.
It's. I mean, that was part of the frustration was we were ending, and I wasn't getting something, and whatever. I'm not gonna get into all of it. I was just, yeah. So anyway,
Carly's saying, "Hey, Skunk."
I saw that. I'm not ignoring you, Carly. I was talking about something else.
You know, I'm just reading something.
Actually, I'm gonna keep that one on because my hand still hurts.
I'm just reading something that's making me think. Just
Yeah.
all sorts. Okay. Did you know that Robin Williams was rejected from Harry Potter, and that he wanted to play Hagrid, the Gameskeeper?
No, I've never heard that one before.
But the problem was they had a British only rule for casting for Harry Potter.
They did. I remember that.
Yeah.
And anyway, J.K. Rowling wanted Robbie Coltrane for Hagrid anyway. So that was her first choice.
And he did a good job.
Oh, I could.
He's Shakespearean trained, though. You know.
Oh Lord, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, Robin Williams could have pulled it off.
Yeah, more than likely.
I can't get up. Bring it over here.
So let's say Taco Bell chicken quesadilla work for you.
Fine.
You going down Baja?
Fine. No.
Okay.
No, I can't have caffeine right now. Find a non-caffeine option.
Oh, good grief! Look at this. We're at Full House. Where you got, Skunk? Wrong show.
That's the green room.
I'm dropping the straps.
Mm-hmm.
Getting ready to suplex somebody. Don't worry, I'm putting my tank top back on. I just wanted to drop the straps on my singlet.
Hey, Skunk, I was seeing something I was watching cable the other night, and they had this thing. It's a special called The Sheik. Have you seen this?
Oh, I know who The Sheik is.
They did a special on him. I haven't seen it yet, but I saw it advertised, and it was one of those, I got to catch that one day, record it and watch it.
I think.
Because Jack Black's in it as one of the commentators.
Mm-hmm.
It's a biography or whatever about him.
I lost interest in it, but there was a show on NBC about The Rock.
Young Rock, yeah.
Young Rock.
Yep.
And that was pretty good.
Back when he was still a pebble.
Yep.
So what the movie The Sheik that he's talking about, it's a documentary from 2014, right? And it's about the Iron Sheik, right?
Yep.
And it's got a bunch of people who comment on it on the whole entire. There's Hulk Hogan's in it, Jim Duggan, Mick Foley, Jack Black, Bret Hart, Seth Green, like people who are fans of wrestling and more people in the business. I mean, all these major names are in it, or have something to do with it, or talk about it, and it's I haven't seen it, but
Me neither. That's why it's.
The thing about it is that the Sheik he's funny as hell.
Yes, he is.
I wish they would have interviewed Jose Canseco because he has this big grudge against Jose Canseco for no apparent reason. He's like, F the Jose Canseco, like every 3 days.
But that's the thing. The really funny part about it is that they talk about that, right? That or he talks about it on his Twitter all the time, and it's kind of funny that they do this documentary and they have Hulk Hogan on it because he jumps on Twitter all the time and he's like, "Fuck the Hulk Hogan."
It's Tuesday. Fuck the Hulk Hogan. Yeah, I will break his back and make him humble. Yeah.
His most famous, thanks to Botchamania, his most famous line in all of professional wrestling was when he was doing a shoot interview and he got mad about something. I don't even remember what he got mad about. He just out of nowhere goes, "Fucking bullshit."
Mm.
Yeah, because he's full-blooded Iranian, so he just everything's got this deep accent to it. He was he did one shoot interview where they were doing this game called What's in the Bag, where it's a gym bag filled with paraphernalia and they pull out an item and they show it to him and he needs to say the first name that comes to mind whenever they show him the item. And they pull out it was actually a pen, like a little novelty pen, but it looked like a syringe. He pulls the pen out and shows it to him and he goes, "Oh, Hulk Hogan." Most of the people would say like most of the people who were doing it would say something along the lines of like, "Oh yeah, no, X-Pac used to shoot up Newbane, or Axl Rotten, used to be on heroin and stuff," right? And then some of the other guys who would see it as steroids would say like, wow, Cena, Triple H, Goldberg, those names would come up. He was like the only one who was just like Hulk Hogan, just called him out on it. It was hilarious.
Buried deep inside my Facebook profile, there's a favorite quote section, and one of mine's an Iron Sheik quote. It says, "When you look back at your life, don't have the regret of not telling enough people to go fuck themselves." And that's in my quote page.
Yeah. And but yeah, he's been around forever. Him, the original Sheik, and Sabu kind of have like they're like the trifecta of that like era, or not era, but that sort of generational thing of being Middle Eastern wrestlers who have that sort of gimmick going for them. And Sabu and the original Sheik are directly related because I think the original Sheik is like Sabu's uncle or something, and Iron Sheik was kind of it's sort of like how you have Andre the Giant and then the Giant, which is Paul White, aka the Big Show. They're not related at all, but they they kind of hint that like, oh, it's supposed to be Andre's son.
Oh yeah,
even though it's not. They're not related at all.
Yeah, they were just trying to generate buzz and
interest. Hey, brother, it worked.
Oh yeah,
yeah. The whole the whole funeral thing where they like drive the casket off with the pickup truck or whatever it was. Yeah.
I remember when they first started doing that in WCW, and you had Hulk Hogan going into the locker room and finding that T-shirt and being all like, "This was Andre's shirt, brother," and it was like, where are they going with this? And then Paul White showed up, and it was like, holy crap! Like, this dude's a monster because he literally was a giant. It was pretty cool.
Hey, do you know my favorite Andre the Giant line?
You want a pet?
No. I'm okay now, boss.
I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I do.
I don't know. When he said that, the first thing I thought about was Gallagher. I'm okay now. You can send me back.
Okay now, boss. No, I am now, boss.
I am now, boss. That's the quote.
That's the quote. Yeah.
I am now, boss.
Well,
And-
you
and who-
remember I
and-
mentioned
Okay.
you
And who
remember
was
I
he
mentioned the
talking to?
cat
Who
came
was
in
he
through the
talking to
door?
when he said it?
Rob Reiner.
Rob Reiner.
You remember when I mentioned the cat forced the door open to come in here?
Yeah.
Yes.
He turned around and closed it too.
To stay in the room with you.
Well, if the cat's that smart, why don't you teach him to use the toilet instead of the litter box?
If the
That
cat
would
were
be
that
more
smart, he
expensive.
brought you a beer.
Well, that's true, but well, he has been poking his nose in the beer fridge every time I open it, and I'm going, no, I don't care how good it feels, you can't climb in there.
No, Dan's right. That it could get expensive because I've heard that cats, when they learn how to flush the toilet, will sit up there and flush the toilet to watch the water run down.
Damn buzzard.
Mm.
Quit showing your butt to everybody.
Cat butt.
Speaking of cats,
I don't want to talk about that damn thing.
what?
Toots.
Chris's cat?
No, I'm ready to kill Donna's cat.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
it's Donna's cat now.
Well, no,
Always has been.
the little gray one has been nothing but Donna's cat.
Yeah, he just wants to be next to me every chance he can. And he's got a bad habit now of running up and grabbing you by the ankles and biting you in the Achilles tendon.
Ooh.
Well, you guys remember a little while back on this show when
Yes.
I said that I had a new idea for a music album. I was going to release an album, and it was going to be MIDI tracks, right? Just regular MIDI, probably using roll and sound canvas, just regular roll and sound canvas MIDI preset, and it was going to do an album that was going to be entirely made of MIDI tracks. And that was going to be, you can listen to it as a CD or as MP3, or you could just download the MIDI tracks themselves if you wanted to, right? And I thought this was a cool, novel idea. Like, this is going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. Nobody's ever done it before, sort of thing. And it's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
Of course.
Someone beat you to it?
Of course they did. And it's one of the masters of MIDI music. It's Lee Jackson. Lee Jackson worked for 3D Realms. He was the guy, or actually before it was 3D Realms, it was Apogee Software. He worked on two of the best video game soundtracks of all time when it came to MIDI stuff. He worked on Rise of the Triad and Duke Nukem 3D. His discography of music that he's done for all of these different games, like he's done Blake Stone, he did Wacky Wheels, Terminal Velocity, Rise of the Triad, Duke Nukem 3D, Shadow Warrior, the pinball game Balls of Steel. He's done pretty much every Duke Nukem game, starting from Duke Nukem 3D onward, including Duke Nukem Forever and the remake of Rise of the Triad. And again, he's actually done what I was talking about. He's released albums of music that were never in any of the games, and you could download the MIDI tracks too. So somebody's already beat me to the punch. I'm kind of like, I'm not going to do that now. I think I'm good. That'd be a lot of... no, there's no way. There's no way. You're talking to... This is the equivalent of being all like... John, what you just said right there is the equivalent of being like, I can play guitar. I'm better than Eddie Van Halen. Nobody's better than Eddie Van Halen.
Well, you never know. There's a lot of people that were... There's a lot of people that might be better than Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
UEJ Malstein.
Yeah, but Ingve's I mean, he's great in his own way, but Eddie revolutionized things that everybody's owed.
I
So did
mean,
Les Paul. I mean,
there's a bunch of names that we could throw out there, and
Chet
everybody has their
Atkins,
different
Jimi
opinions.
Hendrix.
You could say Steve Vai. You could say
Stevie Ray
Cooter.
Vaughan. Yeah.
You could say I don't know about that one. I mean, hell, you could even
Jeff
say
Beck.
Justin Johnson. Justin Johnson make a guitar out of anything.
yeah, I believe that after I watched him play his 3-string shovel.
Well, what about Ralph Macchio? He beat the devil.
he did not beat the devil. Remember that.
But strangely enough, the devil was also the guy that played his guitar part.
No, that was the Devil's guitar player.
Yeah, Jack Butler. It was played
By
by
Steve.
Steve Vai.
Bye.
All right. And that wasn't technically wasn't Ralph Macchio. It was Ry Cooter. Because Ry Cooter did the guitar part.
I thought Steve Vai also did his guitar part. But
Steve Vai did Steve Vai's guitar part. Ry Cooter did Ralph Macchio's guitar part.
Yeah.
And Steve Vai, by the way, Steve Vai can play Pagani's Fifth Caprice. He can play it. He's screwing it up on purpose for the movie. Yeah, that's how good of a guitar player Steve Vai is. He can make it sound like he's bad.
He used to be in Frank Zappa's band, so he can do just about any damn thing because it's the kind of standard of excellence that Frank had for his musicians.
you know
Those-
who was
those
also
folks-
you know who was also a good guitar player and just doesn't get enough credit for it?
Who?
Tom Scholes.
No, I'm trying to think of the name. He played Snowman in Smokey and the Bandit.
Jerry.
Reed.
Jerry Reed. Yeah,
Well, I mean, if we're gonna start bringing up, old school stuff, yeah, really old school. I mean, we were bringing up some old school, but I mean, if we really want to get into like good old fashioned American country music and Southern rock, right? You can't look any further than Fogerty. Come on.
this
Roy
is-
Clark.
You hear
Roy
that?
Clark.
Actually, I'll hit you with the trifecta. I'll hit you with the trifecta, right? Okay. Hold on, I gotta remember the guy that does this one song. All right. Dwayne Eddy, Dick Dale, and who's the other guy? There's another one. Fuck, I can't remember the third guy. It's Dwayne Eddy, Dick Dale.
Well,
Not Glenn Campbell. No, it's
No,
another.
Bill just brought up Glenn Campbell. I mean,
Oh,
he's one guitar players look up to.
Yeah.
hold on. I gotta
Well,
type this in real quick.
I'll tell you this.
Richie Valens, maybe.
There's one guy.
Link
he
Ray. Link Ray. That's who I was trying to think of. Dick Dale, Dwayne Eddy, Link Ray. The surf trifecta.
He's been called. Mark Knopfler called him a guitar god. You know who Mark Knopfler is?
I know.
Yeah,
You're pronouncing it wrong. It's Knopfler.
Knopfler, whatever.
Knopfler with an F.
Yeah. PH.
And he turned down the role or spot in Dire Straits. And he's a damn good golfer. Vince Gill.
Yeah, Brad Paisley's also underrated.
Yeah.
Right.
And we've had this whole entire conversation, and yet no one has brought up Clapton. I feel that's bad, and we need to rectify that because he's been.
Yeah, Clapton's good, but also keep in mind Dwayne Allman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Eric's a good working guitarist. I mean, there's not much that he hasn't already done. I mean,
And I will be absolutely 100% remiss if I do not bring up Bob Mothersbaugh.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. There is, I mean, you're talking about, this is a group. Devo was a band that built itself on all of its synth stuff and all of the drum machines and synthesizers and everything they used. Everything sounded so electronic, even in their very beginnings. But there was one thing they never got rid of, an actual guitarist. And I mean, he played on every single song. He rocked that guitar. He was amazing.
I'll
There's
tell
just
you.
a huge list of guys and girls.
Well,
Samantha
what about
Fish is pretty freaking amazing.
what about Tahani Harrison?
Oh yeah, Danny. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, George's
He's-
son. He's all
yep.
right.
I, I was playing some of the concert for George footage last week, and it's just like there was everybody that you could think of in some of those different things.
Did
And-
you see Prince's guitar solo while my guitar
Yep.
gently weeps?
Mm-hmm. I never really gave Prince enough credit while he was alive. I just thought he was a very, very good showman and a very, very good songwriter. And I never really dove into the fandom, so I didn't get to hear that he,
Did
you know. Yeah, I saw it. Especially the backwards stage dive into the audience. Yeah.
Well, the look on Danny's face was just worth it because you could tell he was just so happy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a 4-hour I think concert for George Harrison's birthday, and it starts off with a bunch of folks that Harrison had worked with in India, and all of his Eastern influences and stuff like that. They got to the more modern stuff, and it had the guy from ELO and
Jeff Lynne.
just thank you. I had totally blanked on his name, and so many other classic guitar. Well, all classic musicians, and that they're going through "While My Guitar Gently Weeps," and you're looking around. All the guys on drum kits are looking at Ringo, watching his every move. All the people playing piano are looking at McCartney, watching his every move. And then there's this guy on bongos in the back, just cutting loose like a maniac. And I mean, I know it's a totally different instrument, but you know, he just looked like, this is the greatest night of my life, and I'm going to play my heart out. And it was just wonderful, wonderful stuff.
Oh, I just had the dream band, the absolute ultimate dream band. They could sound like crap and they'd sell out stadiums.
So you've heard of Hawkwind?
No. They could bill themselves as the sons of the Beatles.
Oh, yeah.
Let them, make some of their, make new music. I guarantee you a record company would sign it just for the novelty on the first album. It'd be a one-hit wonder group, but I guarantee you they would sell gold albums, probably platinum, just because of who it was.
Well,
So would you use Julian or Sean Lennon?
Have to be Sean. Oh, no, Julian.
Because
why not both?
Jude. Well, let me put it to you this way, Joe. Are you going to sit there and tell me that if you took 4 children of the biggest musicians of all time in the world, you took those 4 and you're going to sit there and tell me that they can't put together a multi-single album? Sure, they might not be able to get along, and they might not all want to play the same kind of music, and that might be. But if they could all get on the same page, you're talking about it. That beat the second coming of the Beatles. It would be the one thing that they did that Jesus didn't.
Oh,
Father Rebecca.
Sorry. I apologize to Jake Lindsay for that one. Hey, we did this whole entire conversation, and neither me or Dan brought up David Gilmour. I think we need to fix that. Because,
and we didn't bring up Jimmy Page, and we didn't bring up.
We didn't bring up.
We didn't bring up.
I said Jeff Beck earlier, but I don't know if y'all
Beck,
heard.
yeah.
And Jimmy Page was one of the first to take out a bow and use it on the neck of a guitar. So,
well, what about the rocket scientist?
Oh, Brian May, yes, he's very good. And I tell you, one of my favorites that doesn't get enough credit is Neil Sean.
Can I say a controversial thing?
Go ahead.
There's a lot of people out there that have a lot of love and praise for Mick Gordon, and I just want to say, look, I like Mick Gordon's music too, but the only reason that his guitar playing sounds as good as it does is that he puts it through about 9,000 effects pedals.
Yeah, that was the only reason I got by when I was in it.
His guitar playing is so processed that it comes out sounding amazing. But and he's still a good guitarist, don't get me wrong. But people are like, "Oh my God, he's the god of metal." Mm-hmm. Yeah, what you're hearing is like he had a chart that he built that he showed, like, this is how I made the music for Doom, and it was like, holy crap, man, that's a lot of pedals. It's like it's just fold back distortion after fold back distortion. You could play anything and it would sound amazing with that.
I will tell you
guitar.
What I did once when I had the recording studio in my living room. I got everybody's effects pedals and the whole band, and it's like 5 different people had left their effects pedals. I plugged everything together, plugged it into a preamp, plugged it into an amp, and didn't plug any instruments into it.
You just went.
I just played it like it was a synthesizer, turning knobs, flipping switches, and just the internal generators of these different effects boxes. I got the most amazing effects. I even wrote down a chart as to what did what.
My brother had all those pedals when we were teenagers and stuff like that, and he's just collected them over the years and stuff like that. It's amazing that nowadays you can buy one pedal and a computer program and take the place of 500 pedals, just with one little computer program.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I have FL Studio installed on my computer, right? And so under my I have under the stock stuff that comes with FL Studio. I have, let's see, I have a lot. I have something called Control Service. I have something called Edison, Effector, EQUO, Big Clock, Blood Overdrive, Chorus, Compressor, Convolver. But some of these are just like aren't even effects. Like this one's called dB meter. I've got 2 different delays. I've got a fast distortion. I got a flanger. I got a flangeus. I have a formula controller. I have a limiter. I have a filter. Or this one's called Love Filter. I have LSD, which is that's just MIDI. That's MIDI in. I have a multi-band compressor. I have the Panomatic. I have parametric EQ. I have a second parametric EQ. That's just the stuff that came with it. That's not to mention the fact that I have Audio Impurities, Vintage Edition, Audio Impurities, Decimator, Devicer, Ephonic Lo-Fi, Ferox, Freak Show, 7-band EQ, Balance, Bass Boost, Center, Chorus, let's see, Fast LP, Filter, Free Filter, Mute 2, Phase Inverter, Reverb, Geektronic, Grease Tube, Time Machine 2, Mini Die S, I don't even know what that means, Homicide, Unstable, Winkle, and then under VST3 I have, holy crap, I can't even name all of these. There's so many that I have that are VST3. Things like things that are on here like polysaturator and rhythmizer, spectral pan. This one, there's one on here. It's just a tuner. That's all it is. It's just a tuner. It's for tuning instruments. That's literally it. And then like there's turbo reverb and like all sorts of weird stuff. And literally, if I wanted to, if I had and I could do this with if I took the line in on my computer's motherboard chipset sound card thing, I took that line in, ran it through an amplifier, and through that amplifier's like flying out, right? And have that amplifier connect a guitar up to it, I could use this computer as an effects board and just play whatever I wanted through it. And I could literally do that. The reason I don't do that is because I don't own a guitar. I have a few keyboards. But then with my keyboards, I just MIDI in, whatever. I have MIDI, it's fine. I never use my keyboards though when I'm doing that. I have I've gotten so used to playing notes using my computer keyboard that I don't even bother hooking up my USB MIDI thing anymore.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean about the overwhelming amount of things that come in VSTs now. I never use them, but with the music program I've got, there's an entire selection of stuff that if I would sit down and learn how to use it, I could probably do more than just the Lego blocks and Tinker Toys stuff that I do now. But you know, it's so much fun doing what I already know how to do. Learning new stuff on it would not only annoy the hell out of Lindsay because I'd had to listen to it over and over again until I figured it out, but it'll take a long time because there's too much variety in there. Oh.
I just ran out of gas.
Well, there's a yellow truck in the yard. Might be some fumes. It might be some fumes left.
I can just feel my throat closing up, pollen going up.
Oh, tell me about it. I thought I was doing fine, but then every morning when I drive in the parking lot at work, I run into this cloud of dust particles from the factory, and it just closes up my sinuses and starts sneezing and coughing and everything else. I'm
just glad all the Bradford pears are out of bloom.
Oh,
they stink. You would think most of this stuff would be over with by now.
My mom's husband bought a big bunch of seeds that were native Georgia wildflowers and planted them in this big area of our yard. So we've got all these 6-foot high plants growing that haven't, some of them actually started flowering. And the first ones to flower were, strangely enough, chicory.
Oh, yeah.
And we're both, we both got this stuffy pollen thing going on at the same time. And I told him, wouldn't it be funny if it turns out we're both allergic to chicory?
Why, is that what you like in your coffee?
No, actually. But Cafe Du Monde used to put out that chicory blend coffee that's pretty good.
They still do.
That's all Dutch drinks.
Only problem with chicory coffee, it's even more of a laxative than regular coffee is.
I don't need that help.
Really?
Yeah.
If I have any problems, the taco stand's just around the corner. Well, 30 miles away, just around the corner.
Dan, don't give Joe any ideas.
I still want pickled eggs in the con suite.
He has a Taco Bell right around the corner from his house.
I know that.
Oh, Taco Bell ain't got nothing on the taco stand. Let me tell you, this is honest to goodness. This is
Real tacos.
This is.
Well, I'm
I
just
have-
saying,
I have
Taco
heard
Bell's closer to him than the taco
people
stand.
from Puerto Rico and from Mexico and from Peru say, now this is more like home cooking than you can get anywhere else except at home.
Yep.
That's when I was a National Guard sent a bunch of us out to Yuma, Arizona to do the Southwest Border Mission. And while we're out there, taco truck came by all the checkpoints. And it was one of those nice Mexican, real Mexican family taco trucks that came by with like just huge tacos too. And but you had to be careful when you ate those.
Yeah, there is a time limit you are under.
And who instituted that policy, Carly?
Probably her.
That's what I'm thinking, but
I don't know. Probably Carl. From the way Donna acts, probably Carl.
I felt bad for those Air National Guardsmen that had to fly us back from Yuma on that C-130. It's like the last meal we had there was Mexican food, like real Mexican food, and then we got stuck on a C-130 for like 8 hours.
At what, 40,000 feet?
Whatever. It's bad when they drop altitude, open the back of the plane.
I can't help
and
it.
let fresh air in.
it's okay, Heather.
Yeah, nobody's laughing at you, honey.
No, Joe's just pointing at me for yawning. But I can't help it.
And how many times have I nodded off in the show and Joe makes fun of you?
As
I wasn't making fun at her. I was
No, he was
fussing.
telling me to stop.
Well,
Oh.
it is contagious. Seems like when somebody starts, everybody else starts following afterwards.
So there's a guy in Atlanta. He's like a local politician, and he's running for office, right? And he goes to this like fundraiser event that he was going to, and he's one of these defund the police guys. He wants to basically, get rid of half the police force and all sorts of stuff like that. So he goes to this event, and he's getting out of his car, and a bunch of kids that are like 7 and 11 years old run over, jump in his car, and steal his Mercedes while he's going to this defund the police fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking teenagers either. I'm talking these kids were like 7 and 11, stole his Mercedes.
Irony can be pretty ironic sometimes.
And
Mm-hmm.
And it was, and I told you it was Carly.
Yep. I figured it was. It's nice to have confirmation, though.
Oh. I found this guy on YouTube who gives opinions of these of the Karens and the who is it? The Karens and the Chads?
yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one guy, he was a mayoral candidate somewhere up in Canada, and didn't want to abide by the mask rule. So he walked into the store, showed them what he bought, laid the money on the counter, and walked out. And said, they said, sir, we have to scan that. No, you don't. I left you the money. There's there. And they were just telling him, whatever. And finally, they said, when he walked out of the store, that's essentially stealing it because it wasn't rung up. And something happened. He punched the manager of the store and ended up being hauled off to jail. I'll have to find it. I think Dan said he'll be right back.
Is
Yeah.
that what he's saying?
He just finished a beer, so he went to go get another one.
Yeah.
Make room for it.
Well, you can only keep so many beers beside you, especially when your house doesn't have central heat and air.
Beer rental.
Because if you go and you keep more than, because he had one that he had before the show started, and he brought another one that he was going to open later. So that gave him so long, and if it sat out for too long, it would start to get warm. And he's not German, so warm beer's not his thing.
And do you think he might be making room for the others?
He's probably bringing 2 more with him.
One of the things I like about Sam Adams beers is that most of them, you can drink them cold or warm. And you can see into another dimension.
Yeah.
I've got some Yinglings in the fridge I need to drink.
What
I've
kind?
also got a pint of Patron.
What kind of Yingling?
Just regular Yingling.
Oh.
Cans.
Can? No. Kidding. No. Yingling,
Yeah, I'm weird. I prefer cans.
Yingling has this one out called Golden Pilsner.
I've seen it. I haven't tried it.
Try it. It's one of their. It is probably the best beer out there.
See, I like lagers though.
I like mixing them up.
The best beer, mass produced, that I really like that you can't really find anywhere anymore is regular Michelob.
No, you can't. It's all Michelob.
Or Ultra. Either, one of the two you can't find, or you might find the
regular Coors isn't that bad either.
Haven't tried regular Coors. Coors Light's not too bad.
It's hard to find regular Coors
Outside of Colorado.
Everything that I know where to find it. There was one gas station in Cleveland that I could get it from. There's a couple of gas stations up here I can get it from. Not gas stations, grocery stores up here I can get it from.
There's a place in Fort Oglethorpe. It's over there by the big lot, where the big lots used to be. I think it's still there. But
seen it in Kroger.
Whatever. Anyway, there's a place where it sells beer and tobacco. And they've got a pretty good selection of foreign beers and stuff. And I need to check them to see if they got the regular Coors. But the one they've got that I love going there for, Mickey's Big Mouth Lager.
Yeah, Bill, I remember that song from my younger days.
Andy likes to go to the liquor store and find German beers and German wines.
Some of them are actually pretty good.
Rhine wine.
I haven't had a Rolling Rock in a while. I'm thinking about getting one of those again.
Oh, they got them at Ingles.
Yep.
Around here. I haven't seen them at Kroger. But
I haven't seen a Kroger.
Well, that's totally my fault.
Over $200 worth of gift cards to Kroger.
Do you have a Kroger anywhere near you?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a couple blocks away.
Yeah. We used to have about half the grocery stores in Chattanooga used to be Kroger, and then they just disappeared.
That's because they bought out Red Food, and then Red Food got bought out by Bilo.
Yeah, Red Food bought out Kroger, then Bilo bought out Red Food, and then when the Walmart groceries, when Publix came to town, Bilo went, see ya.
Yep.
Well, Bilo is Food City now.
Yeah, Bilo sold out to Food City.
Yeah.
I have a Target with a grocery store in it a quarter mile away from my house. A block away from my house, I have a Publix. Another 2 blocks away from that, I have a Kroger. If I go a quarter of a mile in the other way, there's a General Dollar with a grocery store in it.
Yeah, my closest food, I've got a.
And we have 3 Asian markets within walking distance to my house.
Do you have a Hispanic market?
Yes, they are in downtown Smyrna. There's a couple of them.
That's the best
Supermercado.
And they have a restaurant in there too. So it's the the cantina, and they've got a restaurant in there. It's behind Hardee's, and it's attached to a car garage. So they run the car garage, and they've got the Mexican restaurant and the Mexican market.
John, I think the closest Kroger's to us is Dalton.
Yeah, there's
One in Dalton.
one on Cleveland Highway and one on Walnut Avenue.
I know where Cleveland Highway is.
Yep.
Because it turns into Dalton Pike.
Yep.
That will save you 45 minutes trip from Cleveland to Dalton. I made the trip from Cleveland to Dalton in 25 minutes before.
It obviously wasn't during rush hour.
Actually, it was 6:30, 6 o'clock.
You're
just before rush hour. But...
Well, it's kind of at its start, but she wasn't in the thick of it, which that would have been a pain.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, have you been up 75 in the last 3 or 4 weeks? Through East Ridge.
Oh, where the lane change with the split?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
I'm going to tell you, when they get that done, that's going to be awesome up through there.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like... It looks like they're only making 2 lanes going northbound to 75, which it should at least be 3.
It will be 3. It will be.
I preferred 3 to the 24 westbound, but I think it's only going to be 2.
Well, they're widening it out. 24 to the ridge cut that's phase 2.
Well, I don't know if you're aware of it or not.
And we're getting a diamond lane from Ottawa to just past the Georgia line.
An HOV?
Yeah. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but you remember the bridge overpass explosion on I-85 about 4 or 5 years ago?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you remember they got that repaired and a new one up fairly quickly?
Yeah.
That's the same company as contracted to do the interchange there.
No, C.W. Matthews is... Hell, they were the ones that finished up the 27 because the other contractor couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
And that's nice now going through downtown Chattanooga now.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about getting in a wreck coming from 24 onto 27 anymore.
Yeah.
You've got 2 lanes.
Yeah.
That are just dedicated to 24 onto 27.
Yeah. And that lane doesn't end. You're actually when you come off 27, you're in the fast lane.
Yep.
All the way around.
Plus, they straightened out the
those S-curves
to the bridge.
Oh, that reminds me. I about got hit this morning.
Don't do that.
Well, I'm sitting there waiting on my left turn arrow, and everything goes red coming north-south. I'm trying to turn east. My arrow goes off. I start trundling out. There's a police car sitting in a driveway for not a brewery, but one of those craft beer places that wasn't open at the time because it's 6 o'clock in the freaking morning.
Yeah.
Here comes the guy in a pickup truck up to the red light, gets half of his pickup truck into the intersection while I'm making a left turn, and I'm going, I've got enough time to slam on the brakes if some bitch runs it. And there's a cop sitting right there. He finally got it stopped, and I went on ahead. I'm just wondering if the cop followed him up the road and gave him a little bit of advice about slowing down. And this evening on the way home, for some strange reason, instead of taking the straightest route, it's the quickest thing at 7 o'clock in the evening. I turned off on my 3:30 in the afternoon route that goes through all these back roads, and I wound up side by side with an unmarked car. I could see the cage in the back and the
Who won the drag race?
The deer stalker bumper and all. No. I knew that this guy was waiting on somebody because about 2 miles ahead of us was a 45-mile-an-hour zone. So I knew he was looking to get somebody going fast through there, and I never do. I mean, I get in there and I shut it down and lock the cruise control down to a close approximation of the 45-mile-an-hour limit, but it's not the 65 and 70 that most of the other drivers want to do through that 45. I expected to see him pull somebody over, but evidently it was just obviously enough an unmarked car that people actually slowed down, which at 3:30 in the afternoon they wouldn't have paid any attention. But
there are some that are more alert to unmarked vehicles than others.
Yeah.
They just happen to be on the road at that time. Oh, Bill Sartain, Kroger should be in Indiana. Their headquarters are in Cincinnati, Ohio. Facebook comment, that was John.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Bill says they're up in Indiana.
I want to know, Carly, why stay away from the coffee-flavored German beers? Real quick before we have to end.
Oh, crap, yeah. There's only a minute left.
We didn't even play the thing because I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Well.
Here, we'll do this. We'll do this. All right, there we go.
That's enough of that.
That's the way I used to see it on the other computer.
All right, well, guys, honestly, at this point, wanted to head to bed anyway. So,
all right,
get up for
yeah.
I like stouts, like coffee flavored beer. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and some people like coffee flavored coffee.
Oh, I do too.
Sure.
Thank you, Dennis.
Yeah.
All right, let's say goodnight, everybody. We're going to hang around after we run the outro, but we're probably not going to stay long.
Good night, everybody.
All right, say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space. Put out my hand and touched the face of God.
And we're back.
Yep.
Hello, everybody. Again.
Dan, you don't know how close you came to having an after show of your own tonight.
Well, you've got the link to my intro. Play it.
Oh, well, hell, I could do that, couldn't I?
It's in the private chat.
Yes, it is. Hold on a minute. Let me do this. Maybe it's there. There
it is YouTube. I don't know if that makes any difference.
I just got to do a couple things real quick.
Nice background, Dan and John, by the way.
Oh,
meant to compliment you on it earlier.
Thank you. That is my front yard with a tortoise put where my well house is. And actually, that's what I plan to build for my next well house. I got one of those. I got one of those little doghouse things right now.
Cool.
Oh, let me do this. There we go.
Oh, heavens.
That gives off a vibe of a Jackie Collins story starring Joan Collins in the movie version of it.
Oh, you should see the outro. It's good. It's like, I'm not sitting around to tell y'all bedtime stories. And it's like, oh, well, all right. And then it goes into this super fast scroll. Oh, no, it was last Saturday night. And everybody decided no after show. And I said, well, fuck it, I'm still awake. I've still got 2 days before I go back to work. Let me play around. And within about an hour, I had that. I wrote the music and did the video, get it all done, and put it up on YouTube and posted the link to the Secret Humor group. And people were going, "Oh man, we can't wait for this to actually be real." Because basically, I was going to do. Oh well, I'll do this once I'm retired and I don't have to go to work anytime the next day, and just kind of do random after shows.
Well, I was out of state, so I wasn't available. So.
Oh,
That's why
well,
I missed Saturday night show.
It's quite all right. Everybody has a life.
Or should.
Or should, yeah, well. Yeah.
Well, Dan, if you give me the link to the other one, I'll have it ready for you.
Oh, all right. Let me get the full screen down. The music's even better on this one. I don't know why I didn't use the more lively music for the intro, but the outro just kind of was one of those things where I don't really have the faintest idea. It's just everybody talking to me had got me fired up to keep going with shit. So
the intro music wasn't bad.
It's supposed to be.
It's got a very 70s drama show feel to it.
Well, I tried very hard to keep it from sounding like music to a porn video, but
I wasn't going to say that, but I'm glad Dan did.
Well, like I said, it kind of had to give me at first Jackie Collins with Joan Collins starring in the movie version of it. Story.
Yeah, really. Oh, Lord! But
and luckily, y'all are old enough to get the reference. I don't know if everybody else would.
Unfortunately, we're old enough to get the reference.
I only got it from staying up way past my bedtime.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to no longer having a bedtime. So I think Joe's trying to regain the upper hand here, and I don't have any ops to.
You don't have ops?
Yeah, I've got ops. I'm on full screen, so I can't see anything.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, that's one of the things. If I ever am having to do a show of my own, I'm going to have to get a huge screen so that I can still see everybody, plus the comment section, and click over to all the stuff in banners and the scrolls and everything else.
I've seen 32-inch monitors for right around $300.
Yeah.
Well, if you got one of those HDMI outports, just find you a flat screen TV and plug it in.
Well,
most of them make pretty good monitors nowadays.
That's what I'm using, and actually, I get a better color saturation using AVI than HDMI. I can't stand this HDMI on this one, but I've got the adapter to plug in. I can switch it all over, but I've got to use a DVM switch to go back and forth between the monitor, between the two different computers, monitor and mouse. And thankfully, I don't have to plug the keyboard into it because it is Bluetoothed into both computers. So,
all right, here we go. Let's give this a try. 3 minutes.
Yep.
Good grief. Okay, we ain't gonna wait that long.
Well, like I said, after where you cut it right there,
Yeah.
it goes, I'm not going to sit here and tell you bedtime stories. Oh, all right. And then it goes on through this really rapid scroll, which was patterned after the Star Wars intro scroll. But I don't know where that square artifact came in. It didn't show up in the original, so it must be something. I'm going to have to do the whole damn thing over again just to get rid of that.
What square artifact?
Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
There was a square mask about where your picture is right now. There was a square mask in the corner of the damn thing. So maybe it only exists when somebody's playing it from YouTube through StreamYard.
No, that's on StreamYard.
You uploaded it to StreamYard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you downsize and click brands, look what's there.
You cunning little bugger.
He's learned a few things since he started this adventure.
Oh.
See, now we can just throw it to you. I'll pull it off of my pages. Now, if you start your YouTube channel,
I've got a YouTube channel.
Let's figure out how to grant me permissions to bring it over. If I wanted to, I could actually kick off on Brian K. Morris's.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have rights to be there. But I'm not going to do Brian that way.
No, you don't want to take him off.
Oh.
No, I mean, besides that is the outro. I mean,
Yeah.
the show's over. If anybody sticks around, it's just for the jokes.
Yeah. I'm sitting here watching and it's still going.
Oh, yeah. Well, I do have the music isolated. I should go ahead and put both pieces of music on the next album, along with the other stuff that I've just done for fun since then. God, they don't have 10 albums out. And still nobody knows who I am.
Good grief, that thing goes on forever.
Yep, well.
That's part of the joke, I'm sure.
Oh.
Yes, exactly. That is the joke. It's not parts, it's the whole damn thing. You don't have to go. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
I'm glad I got to join in on y'all. Most of the time I'm working, but
I'm glad you did. Starting next month, we're going to be revamping the Thursday show to be more Helicon centric, cutting back to just 1 hour.
Yeah.
And bringing more guests in.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, we've got enough time Saturday night to where we can go nuts.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to have the guest in for an hour or so on Saturday nights either, just because people bored or finishing up their evening's activities, something to unwind with.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dan, are you going to be at Helicon this year?
I really haven't the faintest idea. Lindsay doesn't want to leave the house yet, so I'm working on it. But if I'm not going to be there live, I'll be there watching everything. And if I'm needed on a panel for anything, feel free to sign me up. But
so you said you'll do a panel? So yeah, rooms are cheap, Dan. Thanks for volunteering to do a panel. You heard that, didn't you, Chris?
Yeah, I heard it.
I said if you needed me on a panel.
Well, I'm glad you volunteered.
We're
to do a
probably
panel.
going to need you.
I distinctly heard him say he volunteered to do a panel.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to try and have the
All I got to do is get the paid version of StreamYard, and anything at all. I can sit right here in my armchair and.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna set it up to where we can actually have the a guest remote in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was what I meant when I said if you need me on a panel, but I have got to lose about 15 pounds before I can drive long distance again. Let me tell you, the 15 minutes home from work and to work is just killing me because I cannot stand all this extra fat pressing on my ribs, all this COVID weight that I have not had a chance to get used to.
Well, I've had my vaccines and I've not really noticed much of a side effect. What's the matter, Dan?
No, I was just trying to figure out how to say, how would we notice a side effect from the regular Joe dog?
If he can find the humor in something, he's going to try and do it. And the more twisted and perverse, the happier he gets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
We got somebody back watching on YouTube. Welcome back. Welcome to whoever's watching on YouTube. Bill is on Facebook because YouTube doesn't like Bill for some reason. He's in trouble.
I wonder what that is. Oh, okay. Might have something to do with the Saturday morning cartoon replays. Facebook would not like that sort of thing.
No, it's YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me. I meant YouTube. I don't know why I said Facebook. Facebook doesn't care as long as they can sell ads.
Well, Bill, we're happy you're still with us on Facebook.
Oh, especially after that boring exposition of my music and questionable sense of humor.
People to sleep.
Yeah, well, that's what the 9th album was all about, was putting people to sleep. Originally, it was going to be titled "This'll Put Your Ass to Sleep," but I decided against that.
That would be good to have in parentheses.
Well, I've got to say it works because there's been one time I've actually sat through the entire album without nodding off, and I wrote it. So
yeah, definitely.
But that was the conceit behind it. It play some almost ambient, mellow sounding stuff with nature sounds in the background, and just kind of get people to zone out. I originally planned to do it with a video for each piece of music, and then it just got to be, these are going to be 20-minute videos. No, I don't think so. Nobody's going to allow that. Even though YouTube allowed me to ramble on with my first experiments with doing a video editorial for my e-zine for an hour or 2 hours, until I figured out, 10-15 minutes is probably enough. Otherwise, after the third or fourth beer, you're going to sound really stupid. Sure enough, after the third or fourth beer, I sounded really stupid. If you don't believe me, go look at my YouTube channel. It's all, I haven't removed it yet. That evidence is still there.
Okay.
It's boring as all get out. It's just me talking for hours.
So what's different from this?
Well, with this, I've got y'all to tell me to shut the fuck up.
I knew I was forgetting something.
Oh, is that
Put it
what
on-
we're supposed to do? Dang.
Put it on the damn list.
Gee, it only took us 2 hours or 22 minutes to figure that out. I forgot.
I can see there's a new banner coming.
Yeah. Good night, Dan. I'm sorry, guys. I'm playing in my game because for some reason I'm getting attacked. I play Forge of Empires. And right now I've got somebody who has got something against me. They're attacking and raiding all my stuff. So I have to keep my my village cleared so they don't rob me blind.
Well, Dan Butler's in a similar situation. Every time he posts something on Facebook, somebody reports it, no matter how innocuous it is.
Oh yeah, there's some people that's just got it out for some folks and doing everything they can to.
That's
make
what
life
he's trying to
difficult.
figure out. He doesn't know of anybody he's pissed off in particular, or if it could be even somebody who is another writer that's jealous of his success with the history books that he's been doing.
I'll tell you exactly what it is. He's done a few things that have crossed the line in the past. And what they're doing now is if you get 3 of these strikes in a 90-day period, they strike your account. I found out the reason I was off live streaming and tell you how long ago it was. John, do you remember when we did the Prince, the Batman parade scene?
Yeah.
That was one of them.
Really?
Yeah. How long ago was that?
Long enough, I don't remember.
It was back in July. And then there was one that got hit, and it was when you had your TV playing in the background.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one was one of the Helicon movies. The overnight Helicon movies.
Yeah.
When I did it, played it, it was the Alfred Hitchcock hour.
Mm-hmm.
That rolled into public domain a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow Comcast bought the rights to it and
From
threw it
public
under
domain.
from public domain
Mm.
and threw it under NBC Universal. So instead of giving me the warnings for all those, as they came along, they threw all 3 of them, which gave me the 3 strikes and you take a break rule.
So in other words, they're just being petty.
At this point, yeah. So if you've got any possible violation in the past,
I wonder if the Internal Revenue Service knows about all the tax violations that Facebook is guilty of.
I don't know.
Can I say that on air while we're broadcasting?
I will. I'll tell y'all something else about a YouTube channel after we go off the air because I don't want.
Yeah.
But yeah, which actually I think we ought to go ahead and wrap this one up tonight.
Might as well. The broadcast portion, anyway.
Yeah, the broadcast portion because I got to.
I got hungry all of a sudden, so I'm going to make me something to eat.
All right, but yeah, John, you need at least to hang around and hear this.
Okay.
So all right, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you.
The
Dan,
end of the show.
this is the end of Dan's first after show. So
we're not going to play the outro again.
It's the Dan show. Hey, he's Dan. It's the
Yeah.
Dan show. Hey, he's Dan.
let's say good night, everybody. I want to talk about this off air and then let John go get something to eat.
Please.
Good
All
night.
right. Say good night, everybody.
Good night,
Come
everybody.
on, everybody.